Hello and welcome to the 5-part mini training series on intolerances and why you should care about them. My name is Lara Jezef. Thanks for joining me. So this mini training series will help you understand what intolerances or food sensitivities are, what causes them, how they are impacting your health, how to notice if you have an intolerance, the exact method to combat them, the step people miss when it comes to removing them, and how to get the body you dream of, and so much more. So, in today's part 1 video of 5, we get to understand what a freaking intolerance is anyway, how to know if you have one, what internal and external factors will show up on your body if you have one, and the types of food that could be affecting it. So let's explain a little bit about what intolerances are in the first place. And I've put together a little chart for you just to compare between food sensitivity and intolerance to an allergy. So as you can see here from the top, so reactions to food can take up to 3 days to detect an intolerance, which makes it really tricky. But with an allergy, the reactions will happen immediately. The gut reacting poorly is generally for an intolerance, and the allergy actually triggers an autoimmune response in the immune system. For an intolerance, symptoms of food intolerances, they include gas, bloating, cramping, aches and pains. They generally time with your moods, diarrhea, constipation, that sort of thing. But with an allergy, this is actually more severe. So you get swelling, you get problems breathing, itching, you've got some dizziness, and so you've got some big flare-ups with your skin. With an intolerance, the most effective test to source the trigger foods that are causing your problems is an elimination diet. It's not actually a test, really. With an allergy, it's worth doing a blood test. They can detect it. With a food intolerance, it's very common. Doesn't mean it's good, but it's common, more common than an allergy. In fact, 45% of people in the world suffer with intolerances, and surprisingly, it's mainly the Western world. So I'll leave you thinking on that one. After a time, intolerances can be removed. That is very important to note. After a time, you will be able to eat the trigger foods again. With an allergy, at the moment, they're saying that it's forever. Intolerances, again, common. Allergies, not so much. The top intolerances are with histamines, gluten, and lactose. And again, moving over to the allergies, the top allergens are listed there. We've got celery, we've got fish, nuts, soya, sesame. With intolerances, the cause and discomfort can lead on to other illnesses, like more severe. But then with an allergy, the allergy can actually be fatal. So it's worth having you understand the differences and get clear on that. So, symptoms of an intolerance. Just so you're aware, if you're experiencing any of this list, it might be that you have an intolerance. You've got bloating, and this is all external and internal factors. So it's important to raise your awareness around intolerances and how they affect your body internally and externally. So did you know that low energy can be caused by an intolerance, or achy joints? This list is actually funny because it's everything that I had when I was intolerant. Funny. I find it funny because now I don't have any intolerances. Whoop, whoop. So just make a note of this. It's good to have a pen and paper handy just to jot a few of these down if you have any of them or more. Maybe you're experiencing other symptoms. It's just good to raise your awareness around a few of these here. So why do we have intolerances? Thank you, Dr. Axe, for this lovely little diagram. He's an amazing functional doctor. You've probably heard of him. So there are numerous factors which cause intolerances, as you can see above: stress, toxins, drugs. Also, Change in hormones. So if you're pregnant and you give birth, that can have an impact. And other factors include pollution, a constant diet of processed foods, and alcohol can add that, but the big factors are there. So as you can see, they cause inflammation in the body, and that lining is actually the gut lining. You can see those little kind of square things with spiky hair. That's your gut lining. As you can see, all of these issues are damaging the gut and causing gaps in the gut lining. And you may have heard of leaky gut. Well, this is what the gut lining looks like. They then turn into food intolerances, immune system issues, and autoimmune diseases. So, what types of food cause it? What types of food could be triggering these issues? Now, this is the most common list here. So it's important, again, make note, dairy products, gluten, eggs, just try to understand if some of these could be causing your symptoms, your bad skin, or your sleeping problems, or your low moods, or your bloating. Have a little look through. These can also be caused by to do with weight gain. Have a little read, take a note. So, I hope you learned something for this part. Part 2 will be going into more detail and be the first phase in a 4-part process to actually get rid of your symptoms. Yes, that's right. We already know that intolerances can be removed because they're not allergies. So let's focus on the most important phase of getting rid of them. So you're going to want to stay tuned, and tomorrow you will be receiving part 2. Thank you for joining me.